Hi, everybody. Bob Wilkie here with lesson number 2. What we're going to be talking about today is love. And I know it makes people uncomfortable. And I know when I bring it up in the locker rooms when I'm talking with the kids or, doing presentations, you can see people kind of squirming around in their seats and they're just not quite sure, of what it's going to all be about. And what we're going to talk about today is really being able to foster that love of the game and teach them the importance of love in their life. I know for me, I loved nothing more than the game of hockey when I was growing up. I couldn't wait to get to that outdoor rink with all my buddies or to have everybody over to the house so we could play in the backyard or, the front street was frozen so we were out playing or to the rink with my teammates. I couldn't wait. And it was about the age of 14, 15 that love started to fade a little bit. It started to become a little tainted. And really, in the early part of my professional career, when the love needed to be the strongest, it was probably the weakest. And I know that that's a lot of the reason that I struggled with the things that I did was because I didn't have that love. And when you lose love, and we've all been through it, it hurts. It's painful. You're not quite sure what to do. And a lot of times you go back thinking that maybe you can get it back. Maybe you can change some things, or just simply hoping that you can have that love back in your life. And the kids that we're talking about at the age that they're at, some of them still have that love and it's very strong. Some of them, if you ask them and you get them to open up, you're gonna find that it's not as intense as it once was, and it can be very difficult. As a grown up, as an adult, if you don't love what you do, well, it's tough to go in and do a good job. And a lot of the reason that the kids struggle in sports, especially when they get to their teen years, is simply for the fact is that love just isn't there anymore. So it's gonna inconsistency. Um, the practices aren't going to be as good. Their performances are going to be subpar. And really, what it does is it teaches you to kind of doubt yourself. When we're talking about being able to have that strength of love and in the game and the things that they do, well, nothing would stop them. They're packing the car and ready to go. And do I have it today? Do I have it today? And when you stop hearing that, it's a telltale sign that the love is starting to fade. And your responsibility is to teach them and to help them really understand that, well, we have to keep that strong. If this is what you want to do, we have to keep it strong. Now, there's certain things that come in and out of our life. There's no doubt about that. I mean, everything comes to an end, unfortunately. And, someday your child is going to realize that that's the day. And, but it's about being able to teach him while he's in it and while he has it, the importance of it. And the most important thing that I really found through it all was because I had lost the love for the game, it threw me into a tailspin and I didn't know which direction to go. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. How could this game that I love so much turn on me like that? How could it beat me down? It was like a snake backed into a corner, and it frightened me actually, to think of all the things that had happened to me and why me. And it caused this incredible self-doubt and ultimately led to the fact that I didn't love myself. And, as I got older and I got into relationships and got married and, really the struggles that you have later in life are simply because you don't fully understand what love is. And it's because a lot of times people don't want to talk about it. It's a very critical skill, a very critical, ultra important, I don't even know if that's a word, thing to be able to teach your child while they're in it, to understand the importance of it. And if it's something that you love with your whole heart and you would do anything, well, you know what, then you have to fight for it. And if you're going to fight for it, well, we have to learn some things. In a marriage that struggles, where the love isn't as strong, they go and see a marriage counselor. Somebody who has done their job for a long time and they decide that they don't want to do it anymore, well, they go and see a specialist in trying to find another job and in trying to find a career. So, it's no different. And we're able to really be able to teach the skill and the importance of having love, because as we lose love, things happen to us. And what we want to do is try and prevent those deep emotional scars that are going to affect them in the long term. And that's really what happens is when that love goes away, or that love hurts, causes some pain, it causes emotional scarring. And the scars that we endure physically, they all heal, they fade, they kind of go away. It's always a little reminder, but that emotional scar can go very deep, and it can have very long lasting effects. So again, the most important part of this lesson is to make sure that we're talking about understanding and fostering the fact that they love something in their life. And let's talk about why you love it, and what are the things that you love about it, and how does it make you feel. And as that, you start to notice some things where maybe they're not loading up the car anymore, where you can start to talk about, okay, well, I noticed that there's a change in you, that you're not as in love with it anymore, and I want to know why, and be able to talk about those things as they go through them, so that they're really learning that valuable life lesson of loving something and then maybe not loving something, and the transition that goes along with it, and the struggle that goes along with it, and staying in it too long. These are all things that tend to happen to people when they fall out of love with something, but they're fearful of moving forward, or they don't even know what to move forward in. As these young athletes of yours are going through the struggles that they're going through, it really is important to have that love conversation. And it's not the icky, it's this is how it works. And when you don't have that love, you tend to doubt yourself, to beat yourself up, and kind of wander around in the desert and try and figure out what it's all about. So it's very critical that you help them understand the power of love. And I know it's a tough one. It may bring up some stuff for you. But again, if you're going to keep the credibility with your kids, if you're going to keep that open line of communication, it is absolutely a conversation that you must have. So I hope that you've enjoyed this number 2 top 10 list. I'm Bob Wilkie, owner of I Got Mind, and it was extremely, again, I just love what I do. So it's easy for me, and I hope that it's easy for you, and I hope that this information is helping. You take care, and I will see you in the next lesson, number 3.